Hey, this is Mr. Bubbles doing another statue review for the Batman Statue Collector channel. This time it's for Queen's Bumblebee Bust. Obviously not life-size, otherwise it would be massive, but still a really, really big and heavy piece. I think that was one of the things that surprised me the most about this bust is just how heavy it was. Overweighted in my opinion, and probably not necessary. I mean, if I had to guess, it's over 100 pounds. Probably one of the reasons why, UPS absolutely destroyed one of the boxes when it was being delivered, which that's the first time that's happened to me, actually. So, knock on wood, I've got a lot of statues, and that's the first time I've gotten a box in that condition. So as you can imagine, like a lot of these Transformer type pieces, there's just tons of detail and small parts. The part count of this was beyond anything that I've dealt with for a life-size piece, that's for sure. Lots of assembly. I don't do any type of unboxing videos, but I'm sure you can find some where you can see where each of these individual pieces are kind of put together and keyed in. Trying to give you some close-ups here without moving the camera too much. I don't want to get anyone motion sick. That's one of my biggest pet peeves. I'm watching these videos on YouTube is camera being thrown all over the place, and I'm on the elliptical getting motion sick. As you can see, it's a really nice paint application. Great battle damage effects. Carbon fiber looking pieces. Tons of car parts. I mean, there really is so much to look at on this bus. It's pretty amazing. So just kind of panning up the other side to show you it's pretty much a mirror image on the two sides. Just, again, great paint application. Really cool parts. Does have headlights that come on based on a single plug-in switch, which I'll show you at the end of the review. And then just kind of moving up to the portrait, you can see lots of detail in there. Intricate parts that really make it, a cool piece and interesting to look at. I'd say one of the quirky things that I found when assembling this bust was this piece right here. You can see it doesn't key in all the way. This is kind of a bendable plastic piece, but there's a magnet in there and it just doesn't really sit in there nicely. And you can see on the other side of the bus, it fits in there much better. So I don't think it's by design that other side fits like that. So looking at it from like a rear quarter view, you can see these really cool tires that are on there. I mean, they look like they would be rubber. I mean, good paint. You can tell they've got like dirt and mud and kind of grime in the tread painted in there. And then I'm just going to keep repeating myself, obviously, but just so many parts, small details to look at, no matter what angle you're looking at this bust from. Part of what makes this such a cool piece, but also I think extremely difficult to display, and something I'm gonna have to figure out myself when I find his forever home here is, what areas can accommodate the depth of this piece and then also allow you to see all of this crazy detail on the back. These doors that swing open are, they're really amazing. I mean, you can look at the glass and see, You know, that streaking, dirty effect that they have painted in there. It's on both sides. I mean, even kind of, you know, speakers molded like in the door panel. And kind of moving down, you can see this carbon fiber look spoiler that's split across both sides. And then just kind of looking straight on from the back, you can see the back of his head. Tons of detail, all stuff that you would miss if this is bucked up against a wall. Comes down his back, you see just like the engine block and other random car parts that I'm not going to pretend to know what they are, but definitely look really cool when it all keys in and you put it together. You can see the exhaust pipes. You know, these are kind of cool as well, but it is interesting because these brake lights are charged with this USB charger, and they're not part of this plug-in switch here, which turns on his eyes and the headlights. So it's kind of interesting. I guess it reminds me of the way like the Queen Iron Man, you charge the arc reactor in his chest and then you plug in the rest of them. I'm not a big fan of that. I wish everything was just, you know, plugged in and you had one switch to rule them all type of thing, but I guess I won't really turn these lights on too often, so you know, it's not a huge deal. And at the end I'll show you what it all looks like turned on. Here's a view standing back just so you can see how wide the bust really is. All right, I've dimmed the overhead lights and turned on the lights of the bus so you can get a good idea of just how bright they are. And they really add a lot to this piece. Obviously the headlights on the car, that makes a lot of sense. It looks really, really cool. I'd say the star of the show though is the LEDs in his eyes. I mean, just awesome. I normally don't geek out too much on lighting of statues. That's built in, but on this one, it is super cool. And like I was saying before, these are the brake lights on the back. But they did not turn on at, you know, using this switch here. That just is controlling the front. To turn these on, you've got to toggle this little switch right here. And then, like I said, you would just charge it up with that USB cable that's provided. So there you go. You know, really cool piece, super heavy, tons of detail. It's probably going to be my one and only one of these life-size Transformer busts. Actually, let me correct myself. It's not, again, not life-size, but a large Transformer bust. Bumblebee was a lot to deal with by himself. I can't imagine Optimus or Megatron that Queen Studios is doing. Those will be much larger, much heavier, and I would imagine would really command some prime display space to be able to see them in a 360 manner, which for me, I really like this, but it doesn't command that kind of display space. Thanks for watching.